He has awakened from his slumber, hearing the call.
It's been quite some time since I've been back on here. I've been hearing the call. The call. What call? This call. I don't know what the call is, but we're back with more Am I the A-hole? We haven't read some of these stories in a little bit, so hopefully there's some pretty juicy ones up on the Reddit forums again. So let's go take a look and see what we find. First one I got for you guys is from Tasty X Cutie. Am I the a-hole for refusing to drive my brother to his own wedding after he told his fiance I'm too unstable to be a bridesmaid? Well, how unstable are you? I'm not gonna make any judgments based off of the title, because honestly, I don't know. I just need more context. So I, 22, have been a ride or die for my brother Liam, 28, in his whole rushed engagement to Charlotte, 26. I helped pick out the ring, listened to him freak out over every dumb detail, even sat through Charlotte's meltdown over napkin colors. They're important, okay? Like, I've been in it. I was supposed to be a bridesmaid, had the dress, the shoes, was in the group chat with all the Pinterest links, and bride vibes span. Wow, that's not a term I've heard, bride vibes. Huh, just never heard that term before. Anyway, then out of nowhere, last week, Charlotte calls me crying and says, I'm out of the wedding party. I'm like, what? Why? She gets all awkward and then drops the bomb. Liam said you've got too much mental health stuff going on, and he's worried you'll cause drama. For context, yeah, I've had a rough year. Breakup, therapy, got diagnosed with anxiety and depression, but I've been doing the work. I've never flipped out at family stuff, never made anything about me. I've been chill. So I just stayed quiet. I didn't want to start something. Then yesterday, Liam hits me up, all casual, like, hey, best man sick, can you drive me to the venue? Liam's aware of what's happening, right? Did I miss something? Because, whatever, okay. I texted back, nah, I'm too unstable to drive. Wouldn't want to cause a scene. Now everyone's calling me petty. Mom says I'm being immature and should be the bigger person for his big day. Whole fam group chat is basically guilt tripping me. But like, why is it always me who's supposed to eat the disrespect and still show up with a smile? Am I the asshole? I don't think you're the a-hole right off the rip. I mean, the context seems pretty clear. Now, I don't know what kind of freakouts you've had in the past. I've had some myself. I feel like we've all had some freaking crash outs and whatnot. It happens to the best of us. Past scenarios, if they've ever been like, you know, violent or anything like that. So if that was the case, maybe I could understand where they're coming from. But you're not presenting it that way. And I mean, a lot of us deal with anxiety and depression. So, and you're doing the work on it, like you said. So I don't think you're the asshole, but I do think it's kind of weird that Liam just like, hey, can I get a ride to the party that you're no longer invited to? It's not that you weren't invited to it. You were, and then you were kicked out kind of preemptively. I don't know. That's just weird, man. I want to see what the comments have to say about this. Whole fam group chat is basically guilt tripping me. If y'all got time to guilt trip me, then y'all have time to drive Liam to his wedding. Not the asshole, that's pretty good, yep. If everyone's riding you about it, then why can't they just go do something? You got time to sit there and text from Curious Struggle. Exactly. Funny how they suddenly have all this energy for me, but not enough to figure out basic transportation. Put that group chat to good use and start a carpool. It's not a bad idea. Dude, how many people? There's gonna be a bunch of people at this wedding. You tell me you can't find a ride from someone that's going to the wedding? Why is no one just offering a ride that's already going to the venue? Like, I get that he's asking it's a sister, but still, your fiance said she couldn't go. Not the asshole. That's what I'm getting. That's the stamp you're getting. You're not the asshole, in my opinion. From Imaginary Stop 6423. Am I the asshole for embarrassing my stepmom at dinner after she tried to teach me a lesson about my real mom? What? I, 18, live with my dad and my stepmom, 43. My mom passed away when I was 10, and it's still a sensitive subject for me. My stepmom came into the picture a couple of years later, and while we were civil, we're definitely not close. She always had this weird vibe like she's trying to compete with my mom, even though my mom isn't here. She gets snippy when I talk about her or wear anything that belonged to her, like my mom's old necklace I wear basically every day. Anyway, a few nights ago, we were out for dinner with my dad, stepmom, and her parents. Her mom asked about the necklace, and I said it was my mom's. She gave it to me before she passed. I wear it every day. Stepmom immediately cut in with, well, technically, I'm your mom now. I've done more mothering in the last 8 years than she did in 10. I swear, the whole table went silent. What the? Who says that? What kind of weird movie is this? No one says that. That's just weird. To say that in front of your family about your... That's weird, dude. That's weird. Please back me up. That's weird, right? It's weird. I'm gonna have a crash out about this. What the fuck? I just laughed and said, if you think being a mom is about trying to erase the actual one, then yeah, you've been amazing. Ooh, good for you, imaginary stop. It's getting hot in my room. My pits are probably getting sweaty. That one makes me upset. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it. Weird family dynamic things like this really like get me all twisted up. I don't know why. Probably because I had a weird childhood too, and it would be something different if you were like, if your mom had passed and you were like 2, but you're 10. You're gonna remember that shit. She looked like she'd been slapped. Her mom gasped. My dad told me to apologize, but I refused. I said I was tired of her acting like my mom never existed and I wasn't going to play along anymore. You know what? That's totally fair. I don't think I would have apologized. Oh God, what is he barking at? What is he barking? Why are you barking? Now, my stepmom is barely speaking to me and my dad says I need to be the bigger person. She's just trying to connect. Dude, you don't connect with a young person, no one from the age of 10 to 18. You don't connect with them by basically saying some sly comment about their deceased family member and parent, either one, it doesn't matter. You don't make sly comments like that. That's not how you connect with anybody. You don't be a freaking smartass. You guys, you can disagree or agree with me if you want, but I'm sticking by it, and you're not the a-hole, okay? Your stepmom sucks. Just saying. I'm just saying. That's my opinion. You guys read it how you want. We're all entitled to our own opinions here, okay? But to me, that didn't feel like connection. That felt like erasure. Arnold Schwarzenegger? Am I the asshole for calling her out in front of everyone? No, I still stand by what I said a moment ago. I don't think you're the asshole at all. I don't think you did anything wrong. I think the stepmom's just going about everything terribly, to be honest. And the dad's just backing her up, whether it's wrong or right. Fast opening, 10:51. Not the asshole. Who the fuck thinks that belittling a dead parent is connecting? That's disgusting, and your dad's missing his spine, just like your stepmom is missing her heart. Ooh, yeah, you can't, no. You wouldn't do that to a friend, right? You wouldn't make fun of a friend's deceased relative, let alone your own family member. Unless you really hate your family, but that's still weird. Imaginary Stop 6423, the original poster. Exactly. There's a difference between trying to build a bond and trying to rewrite history. And yeah, I wish my dad had my back a little more in that moment. It sucks that he doesn't. I have a really weird story that's kind of like, in a odd way, kind of connects to yours in my own experiences. So I feel you. I totally feel where you're coming from. And you're not the asshole. I'm sorry you had to go through with that. The next one comes from Silent Marsupial 3824. Am I the a-hole for refusing to share my table with a woman and her 2 children? This is a throwaway account, so this one could be spicy. And it was uploaded pretty recently, so we'll see. Yesterday, during my lunch break at the busiest time of the restaurant, a woman approached me with her children and asked if we could share a table since there were no other available. I told her I didn't feel comfortable sharing space with strangers, and she got upset, claiming that her situation was difficult with her 2 small children. I'm not a confrontational person, so I tried to explain myself again, but that only made things worse. Luckily, a waiter arrived before the woman started yelling because it seemed that way, and told her they already had a table for her. Before leaving, she insulted me again in front of her children. When I told this story to a colleague, she was also upset and told me I was an intolerant ass for not letting the family sit with me. And she asked you if you're a child hater. I don't hate children, but honestly, I don't like them. I generally avoid going to places with children or having any contact with them at all because I find them noisy and dirty. But it's not like I'm rude or harsh when I run into them. I just try not to be around them. So am I the asshole? Kids, they're snotty. You know, any kid, like, I don't know. I'm bad with ages. Any of them like under 6, maybe 5, tend to be like snotty and they're sick. And I kind of get the dirty parts. Like, I tend not to want to be around little kids either. I got some sweet nephews. They're super cool kids. But, you know, I can only handle them in small doses or my freaking, like, I just explode mentally and get overwhelmed. So I totally get where you're coming from in that aspect. I'm kind of a split with where you're at. I get people, like, sharing the space would have been nice because it's a woman with her kids. You're also not obligated to. And if you didn't want to share the space with them, does that mean you have to get up and leave? Everyone's different. You were there first, so I don't really think it's fair that she feels entitled to your spot. The kids are like the only like gray area there is that she had 2 little kids. Now, based on what you said here, I don't know the age of her 2 children. So if they were like 8 and 12, they can wait a couple minutes for a damn table. If she's holding like 2 like 16-pound bowling ball babies, okay, yeah, let her sit down. But that little bit of context there might be that might be a little bit make me wave on like what side of the arrow I'm pointing at if you're an a-hole or not. But honestly, overall, I don't think you're an a-hole. I don't. Why is she entitled to your spot? Again, if they were bowling ball babies, this one has me a little torn. Let's go to the comments for this one. From Martha T001. Is she a Terminator? Not the asshole. People with children have to wait to be seated just like everyone else. I could see her asking at a busy mall food court, but at an actual restaurant is pretty entitled. That's honestly how I was feeling. I felt like it was a whole lot of entitlement right there. I've had to wait for seating with small children at restaurants. It's part of life. You're also going out to eat. That in itself is a luxury, right? From Miley, who responded to Martha, "You've done nothing wrong, and that woman's behavior was terrible, especially in front of her children. She's not entitled to sitting with you, and for her to start to insult you is crazy. She's an asshole for thinking and acting this way is okay." You're really not setting a good example acting like that in front of your kids, right? And I was a little on the fence, but I guess overall, if I was just sitting there and watching this between you and someone else as a complete third party or bystander, which is basically what I'm trying to do, you're not the asshole. That lady was just super entitled. I can kind of like visualize the whole Karen. Not the asshole. I think you're in the clear here. We'll do one more. I don't know if we're getting any assholes today, but we'll do one more. The Cat's Meow 1219. Am I the a-hole for telling my neighbor I dated her husband? What? I, 33, became friendly with my neighbor, 37. Let's call her Emily. After I helped her move a few boxes onto our building while her husband was in the hospital. I didn't meet Emily's husband until a few weeks later when she invited me over to dinner as thanks. When I first arrived, Emily's husband had run out to pick up some wine, but when he came back, I was shocked to see Matt. Oh God, it's Matt. A guy I had gone on 3 dates with a year ago before he suddenly ghosted me. He had a terrible poker face and tried to pretend like he didn't recognize me. I don't play those games. I asked how long had they been married, and Emily said 3 years. But you went on a date with Matt a year ago? Ooh! She recognized there was tension and asked if we knew each other. He said no. Oh, Matt, you dirty dog. I said yes and told Emily that I had gone on dates with him a year ago. She became very upset and asked me to leave, which I did. The next day, Emily reached out and said that she didn't appreciate that I lied about when I dated her husband. Oh, Matt's feeding some stuff. This is getting convoluted, okay? He told her we had dated 4 years ago before they were married. I didn't even live in the city 4 years ago. And even if we had dated 4 years ago, they had been engaged at that point. Either way, he would have been cheating. I sent her screenshots of our texts from the year before and from Bumble of his profile, which was still active. She never responded, but when I saw her in the lobby yesterday, she wouldn't even look me in the eyes. I don't know if they're still together, and Emily hasn't responded to my text. So am I the asshole for telling her the truth? Damn, Cat, I'm calling you, God, I'm calling you Cat because you're the cat's meow, but I'm not calling you meow. So I'm calling you Cat, sorry. I don't think you did anything wrong. I mean, you told the truth. I'm just gonna assume this, he did it once, he'll probably do it again, right? Let's just be honest here, especially if you guys have been married for multiple years and he did it multiple years later into the marriage. If I had to guess, I'm gonna take a wild shot in the dark here. Emily is probably upset and really mad at Matt, which is totally justified. And they're probably spending some time away from each other. Emily's probably upset with you, but can't deny the evidence either. So it's just an awkward conversation that she probably doesn't want to talk to you about, but she knows the truth deep down. Emily, I hope you find someone better for you. And Kat, I don't think you're the asshole. I think you're fine. I think you only did what's right. I totally get if people were like, well, I want to stay out of the situation. It's not my place to say, blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah. I want that tea, baby.
And it's not like you were like forced into that situation. It's just what happened. Call it karma. Matt got what he deserved. But unfortunately, the fallout was you had an awkward situation. Fortunately, you don't have to live with that, hopefully.
Emily does, though. Unless she dumps that dork.
Emily and Matt probably aren't staying together, so it sucks for Emily the most, maybe. Anyways, we're going to read the comments, see what other people had to say. Diligent Money, 2907. You told her the info she did need to hear. Now, just let the pieces fall where they will. Do not engage further. Not the asshole, you were being honest, but it's best to leave her alone now. Why are people better at summarizing what I think? I need to hire someone to think for me. Flying Sparkles. I mean, her not responding currently is likely because she is super embarrassed. Her husband had been caught cheating with the poster, and Emily was then convinced by the STBX. This is turning into an acronym society, and I can't handle it because I don't know them. Let's face it, in accused OP, I wouldn't want to look at anyone for a while. I felt the same way. The husband just kind of lied and tried to redirect it, and then Emily realized the truth ultimately and is just embarrassed and doesn't want to talk to you. Maybe you guys will be friends later down the line, though. You never know. Maybe Matt will be out of the picture. Emily will come thank you in a year. Then you guys can be best friends. Who knows? Maybe there's a happy ending. You guys will be cool friends after it. Who knows?
I doubt it.
Good adhesiveness 868. I think she is embarrassed, and rightfully so. The right thing to do in this would have been to invite OP out for tea and tequila and thank them for helping with the boxes and with her unfaithful husband. She had the opportunity to be honest and tell the wife the truth and chose violence instead. It's not the act of cheating, but the lies around the offense that hurt the most. Yeah, I suppose that could be true, but unfortunately I'm thinking she decided to try and work on the marriage. Those are usually the ones who are so ashamed people know. I think the first couple people kind of hit it on the head. She's just embarrassed. You're not the asshole. But that was some pretty juicy tea right there, so I appreciate this story. I got to get back into the rhythm and flow of doing some of these Reddit videos again. But if you guys liked it and want to see some more, leave a comment down. Leave a comment down in the comments. That makes sense. Do that. Subscribe. Leave a like. Do all those fun things. And if you're not a member, make sure you become a member. Become part of the Slackers. We will take over the world, one slacker at a time. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.